Hello again. I thought I would do a final update on the pond. We've decided to move the pond simply because we put a new permanent gazebo up with a polycarb roof, and that's enabled us to put a sofa underneath for entertaining. So the problem was with the pond, when we moved it into its new position, it was taking up too much of the garden view. So what we've done is taken one layer of timber off the top, 6x4s, which has reduced the depth of the pond to approximately 22 inches. The timber that's come off we've used to make the bulkhead at the back, which you can see houses the waterfall, as the waterfall used to be at the back of the pond. If you've not already seen the original videos, Raised Pond with a viewing window, parts 1 and 2. The waterfall has been reduced by 3 or 4 inches just to make it a little bit quieter when the water's hitting the water surface. The good thing about the bulkhead is I can hide the cables, pipe work and the return from the filter, so nothing's on view. As you can see, the window is now unsupported at the top because of the top layer of timber that's been taken off, so it's more like an infinity window. I think the overall view, although this was supposed to be a compromise, makes the pond better than it was before. The window itself, if you haven't seen the other videos, is 5 feet long by 18 inches tall. The glass is 12mm thick. It has been toughened and then it's had a second process, which is heat soaking. This takes it to an industrial strength piece of glass, so no issues with the water pressure on it. The only things that I have done on the pond since, or bought on the pond since I've redone it, is the new capping. Didn't need it, but just finished it off a bit. I've painted the pond, and I've had to spend approximately £90 on the silicone. Probably bought a bit more than I needed to. The pond itself has been up and running for about a month. Absolutely no leaks. The glass, again, as before, is sat on a wooden beam just inside the pond. I've had to lower that as the glass is now 6 inches below the bottom of the window aperture, and it just literally sits on the piece of wood. The glass is 3 inches bigger than the aperture that you can see all the way around. What I've done is put 2 large silicone beads down the sides and across the bottom, so large in fact that when I've sat in the pond before the water was put in and pushed the glass onto the pond liner, it's merged and it's formed one single bead. Now if you can see this from the other side of the pond, all across here is a 2.5 inch to 3 inch bead of silicone, and also just purely to go over the top down the edge here is an extra bead as well. I finally got some more plants or real plants in the pond. As you can see, there's half a dozen marginals. There are 2 hawthorns in there and 2 water lilies, which are coming up nicely. As before, the pond is powered by 2 pumps, both 6,000 litres an hour. One drives the waterfall and the other one is the Oasa 10.1 filter, also known as the Oasa 36,000. The filter is good for 36,000 litres. My little pond is only 2,000 litres, so as you can see I'm way over filtered. The return for the filter is under the bulkhead, so you can't see that. The filter itself, if you could see it, is behind the conifer bush at the back. Also attached to the filter is the Bitron 24 watt UV bulb. That's a cracking piece of kit, as it has a self-cleaning device on it, and spins over the glass of the UV bulb and constantly cleans it. The water's slightly murky, but that's because I have changed everything round. The pond, when I revamped it, I used the original liner, just cleaned the silicone off from the aperture, cleaned the silicone off the glass thoroughly, put the pond liner back in place, and then simply silicone the glass back up. The only thing that's holding the glass in place is water pressure. There's no issues with that, as it was up and running for 2.5 years prior to this. The only difference on this one now is that we have the water pressure holding it and no support at the top. We've still got the artificial plants inside. I know a lot don't like them, but it just breaks up the bottom. And obviously we've got the water lilies, which are growing really nicely. So when I'm sat on my chair in my favourite place in the garden, I can watch the fish all day long. So overall, I'm really pleased. For what was supposed to be a compromise, I think the pond looks even better. Especially, I mean, it's a bad day today, but when the sun's on it and you can see inside, the fish and the colours are really vibrant. Just need to do a few water changes and get the water a little clearer. Again, all the inspiration I've had has been off YouTube. If anybody has any questions, please feel free, and hopefully I can give somebody else the inspiration that other people have given me. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.